Hello, 7th graders. I'm so excited to have you in 7th grade English. Let's take a look around. You'll see on the landing page a little bit about my family and my own personal interests. I look forward to getting to know you this semester as well. Scroll down to find the link for my appointment calendar. This is where you'll click anytime you want to schedule an appointment with me. You have course beginning and end dates, along with the checkpoints throughout the semester. The checkpoints are just a time that your advisor is going to look at your progress in all your classes and help to make sure that you're on track. Semester finals dates are below that, and then you go on to the course. So starting off, you'll take an orientation statement of understanding quiz. It's really just to indicate that you've gone through the orientation course. Once you've submitted that and I've checked to see that you've gone through that course, you'll be good to go starting off your work for the semester. The welcome folder has basic course information. The getting started folder is very important. You should go through this in at least one of your classes because it's going to give you additional tips on how to navigate that class. Below that, you will see the folder titled Writer's Workshop. This is a folder full of resources to help you with your writing throughout this semester. Modules 2 and 3, you'll be working on a writing piece throughout the whole module. So I hope that you refer back to the Writer's Workshop folder to help you as you work on improving those pieces. Lots of resources when you open up this folder. You're going to find that if you click on these links, they'll provide you with some very specific things you can do to improve your writing. I'm also going to be adding some videos to this folder to help. Module 1, History of Mystery. You click the arrow, you open it up. You're going to work through this module from top to bottom. So it's very important that you don't skip anything. You start off with the pretest. You have to take the pretest, but just know it's not going to greatly impact your grade. So nothing to stress about. It's a great opportunity for you to showcase the skills you have coming into the module, but also you don't have to be concerned if there are quite a few things that you don't know. Because you're going to learn them as you go throughout the module. So it just gives you a preview of the skills that you will be learning. So this document right here shows that it's a lesson. And then when you see a document that has squares and checks and lines, you'll know that that's a quiz. They're titled the same thing, so that shows that they go together. So for instance, the first full lesson is Mysteries That Change History. You're going to click on that lesson and navigate through all of the slides. For this lesson, you have 7 slides. You're going to want to go through all 7 and make sure that you have your language arts notebook or tab open in your binder with some notebook paper, because it's going to be very important that you're taking notes throughout the module on the key concepts, important vocabulary. That will help you not only on the quizzes, but when you get ready to do the discussion-based assessment with me at the end of the module, I will let you use those notes as a support. So it's important that you take them, they're handwritten, and that's going to help you learn the material as well. So if you go to the last slide of this lesson, it's always going to tell you what type of activity goes with this. Like, for instance, this one will have a quiz. It says you're going to complete a quiz. Some of these will show that you have to submit an assignment, and it will have the directions for the assignment on this last slide. We'll go to an example like that in a minute. So here's the quiz. The next lesson is titled What is Theme? This will be the lesson where you'll have the first submitted assignment. Let's take a look at this lesson. You're always going to see a sneak preview on the first slide, and this is a great opportunity for you to get a preview of what you're going to be doing after this lesson, meaning what assignment you're going to be doing. So the sneak preview shows you what your assignment's going to be. It gives you the rubric. I use the rubrics to grade almost all of your work. So just know that this is like your roadmap to the grade that you want for this assignment. It's going to tell you exactly where you're getting your points. So if you use this before and after you've done the assignment to check your work and know that you've completed all of these items, then you're going to get the grade that you want. So it's very clear. It will have all of the directions, all the steps, and sometimes it'll have other items that might be highlighted or a different color. You always want to click on anything that's in these instructions. Sometimes there might be a reading piece in here that's in the directions. And so you want to click on it so it will pull up that reading, and you'll know to do that for your assignment. Again, a lesson, a quiz, a lesson, another submitted assignment. Let's practice what submitting an assignment might look like. So I've gone through this lesson titled How Theme Develops. I've done the sneak preview. It tells me what I'm going to be doing for my assignment. Here's the reading for my assignment. And down underneath the reading, I have a graphic organizer that I'm going to be filling out, and then a part 2 where I'm going to be doing a writing piece. I'm going to go ahead and copy this organizer and these directions to put in my Google document that I'm going to use to submit for this assignment. So I'm going to hit Control C. I'll open up my Google Drive. In the drive, just like you practiced in orientation, you're going to have a folder with your first initial, last name, FEA. Within that folder, you're going to have a language arts folder or an English folder. And you need to make sure that you're inside that folder before you start the document for this assignment. So you click New, Google Document, and you always want to title your document whatever the assignment is called. So in this case, the assignment is called How Theme Develops. So I'm going to make sure that I title it How Theme Develops. Click down in the document, Control V will paste that organizer and the rest of your directions. I'm going to leave it open. I'm not working on it yet because I haven't gone through the lesson. I can close out of this and go ahead and complete all 12 slides, taking notes on the concepts, because that's going to help me to do my best work on the assignment. Once you get to that last slide, you'll see the directions for your assignment all over again. Click on instructions. It'll pull it up, and then make sure that you use the reading indicated in the instructions. So you're going to be filling out the graphic organizer for the story, The Nest. Once you're ready, you've completed all that work, you're going to submit your work. Right underneath that lesson, also titled How Theme Develops. You're going to see here, yours will look a little different. You'll have a circle, a round circle plus sign, and when you click on it, it's going to allow you to upload your work directly from the Google Drive. I'll show you what that looks like in the gradebook here in a minute so that you know if something has submitted successfully. Let's try it right here. I think I left this option open. Yeah. So if this were the assignment compare and contrast mediums, I would click add an attachment and choose Google document. The first time you click that, you might see a pop-up blocker right up here at the top. And you're just going to always allow pop-ups on this site. It gives you the option to click that, and you'll only have to do that once, and then you won't have to do it again. So you'll be good to go. Then I can click in my Julie Johnson FEA folder, in my English class, find the document, compare and contrast mediums, and submit it. I'm going to go ahead and just create that document and submit it. And there, I've submitted my work. And then it tells you have successfully submitted this assignment. And you can always click here and go to grades. And this is where you'll see all of your scores on everything you've done. If you forget where you are in the course and which lesson you need to go into, which assignment you need to do, always go to grades. Before you get started in that subject that day, you want to go to grades and make sure that you've completed the item before that on the list. So here's your score. Here's the date it was submitted. Well, here's the target date, and then it's going to show you the date that you submitted it as well. Since I entered these grades myself, it's not showing a submitted date, but it will show a submitted date here for you. So you'll know if you submitted it on or before the date it was due, or maybe a little bit after. And you can submit work after it's due. You just want to make sure that you're submitting it sometime in the week that it's due. Whatever items are indicated throughout that week are due sometime in that week. So we'll see here the 25th, the 26th. If we look at our calendar, 25th, 26th would be the only items for that week. So you need to make sure that sometime within the week you have those two items done. It doesn't necessarily have to be on that day. You can turn it in late. You'll still have the option. Here is an assignment that was submitted. And when you see a square like this, it lets you know you have feedback. So if I click on it, I'm going to view the rubric. The rubric tells you where you might have not gotten all of your points. And then I almost always leave feedback, sometimes typed feedback and sometimes video feedback. So you want to make sure that you scroll to the bottom of the rubric, you listen to my feedback. Sometimes it's just audio feedback. So that can be helpful to you as well if you want to resubmit this work. On submitted assignments, if you want to redo them, you're going to have an automatic redo for those assignments. I'm just going to give it. You don't have to take it. You don't have to redo it. If you see a little circle arrow, that lets you know you have an automatic redo. And the reason I do that is because I've already told you with the rubric and my feedback what you could do to make that item better. So if you want to redo it, great. If you don't, go ahead and move on. But just know that you need to redo it before you move on to the next module. Once you've taken the module exam, you can't go back in this module and redo work. For quizzes, it's a little bit different. If you want to redo a quiz, you're going to go in, review the quiz, see how you answered, and there's a video about that in the orientation course, and then you're going to reach out to your teacher and either tell them what the correct answers would have been or schedule a time to go over the quiz together. Going back to navigating in the course. So again, we're going down the modules, lesson quizzes, lesson assignments, all the way down to the discussion-based assessment. So please click in the lesson for the discussion-based assessment, because in this lesson, you will have some concept cards that tell you generally what we're going to be discussing in the DBA. And students find that very helpful because it's hard to kind of just talk about everything you've learned. So at least you know some general ideas of what those concepts are going to be. So click here, go through these cards, and help yourself prepare for the DBA. Again, be prepared to talk about those concepts. And students sometimes find it helpful if they're actually practice talking to someone about those concepts, along with coming up with your own examples to help you explain them. After you finish the DBA, I will submit your grade, and then you'll be able to take the module exam. And just remember, you cannot retake the module exam. So you want to make sure that you're prepared, that you have enough time to complete the entire exam. You can't save and submit it in parts. You have to complete it in one sitting. So just make sure you're prepared for that. Also, with the quizzes, same way. You want to make sure you're prepared to take the whole quiz. They're slightly shorter than the exam, obviously, but you can't save and continue. So you really want to make sure that you're ready to take the whole quiz. So that's module 1. Modules 2 and 3 are a little bit different in that you're going to be working on a writing piece throughout the entire module. So you will have quizzes, but you will submit your paper in parts. So this first submission is your graphic organizer just showing me that you planned for your writing. So it can look like the example they give you, or it can look different than the example that they give you. I just need you to submit something to show me that you planned for your writing piece. Then you'll submit the introduction. So that's going to be the introductory paragraph to your writing. Then you'll submit the body of your paper. As you're submitting these pieces, I'm going to give you a lot of feedback to make your writing better, and you can resubmit those pieces and get more points. And then lastly, you'll submit the conclusion. You will not have an exam. We will talk about your writing. We'll talk about the concepts that you learned in the DBA, and then you will resubmit your published piece at the very end. The same thing goes for Module 3. You're going to be working on a different type of writing for Module 3. And then lastly, you have a collaboration that's due at the very end of the semester, but you'll get lots more information about that as you go throughout the semester. So no need to stress about it, but it is one of the last things that's due before you take your final. I hope you find this video helpful, and I look forward to seeing all your fabulous work throughout this semester.